Good morning.
Will do, thank you.
Welcome. So everybody knows yesterday was election day, and we opened the doors to our school for the community to come and vote. And we are still here working. And throughout the day, the ladies in the main office kept mentioning to me the number of compliments that they received regarding the appearance of the building, the appearance of the hallway, and the decorations for Veterans Day. Miss Carney came in to me at one point. She works in the main office and she's responsible for the beautiful brochures. She came in and said, "Oh my gosh, Mrs. Jones, a veteran just came to me and he said, when he came home many years ago, nobody thanked him, and he will never forget that. He said he was so touched to see how our hallways were decorated in honor of all that our honored guests here have done for us to live the lives that we live." So I wanted to run out and get him, because when she was saying this to me, for some reason I assumed he would be here today. And then she went on to say he has a senior. By the time I thought to do it, he was already gone. But what I would have said to him, he wanted to know who the principal was. Who's responsible for this? And what I would have said to him was, don't look at me. There's a lot of people who are responsible for this. I thank the PTA for coming here early and setting up the beautiful decorations and the cookies. My main office staff, Mrs. LaFata, Mrs. McCarthy, and Mrs. Carney, who I just mentioned, for all that they do to help prepare for this type of day. I have an outstanding paraprofessional staff. They are the ones that help put everything up. Mrs. Fernino, Mrs. Helgens, Mrs. Kroll, Mrs. Frazier helped this year. It's a tremendous amount of work, and they take such pride in creating such beautiful bulletin boards. My custodial staff, Mr. George, who is here early, and he's here right now. Him and his crews who do so much to make our building so beautiful every day. I have an outstanding student council who, I have my 5th grade members here with me this morning. They are led by our school social worker, Mrs. Farrow. I thank them for their time. I have an outstanding chorus led by Mrs. Post. I have my 5th graders here with me today. And all the staff and students, in addition to the SIT team who helped the students decorate the little flags that you'll see that they have today. And we are all led by a wonderful central office staff, many of them who are here today. Dr. O'Rourke, Dr. Bells, our superintendent, Mr. Manzo, Mr. Harrison. We always appreciate you joining us in these momentous occasions. And we are also fortunate to have Mr. Uland, our Board of Trustees, joining us here this morning. Last but not least, I'd like to thank and introduce members of Ms. Bajnicki and Ms. Porter's class who are going to lead us in the pledge. And the rest of the program will be led by these wonderful children. So thank you again and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Logan DiDomnisi. Please stand for the pledge. Please remain standing for the Star Spangled Banner performed by our 5th grade chorus under the direction of Ms. Post.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight
Please be seated. Welcome. Thank you all for coming to our Veterans Day celebration. A special thank you to the district office staff members and Board of Education staff members who have taken time from their busy schedules to be here.
About Veterans Day. World War I, known at the time as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, in the Palace of Versailles outside the town of Versailles, France.
World War I. However, fighting ended 7 months earlier when an armistice or temporary stop of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11, 1918, is generally regarded as the end of the war, to end all wars.
The United States Congress claimed with these words, the 11th of November 1918 marked the end of the most destructive far-reaching war. It is fitting that the recurring anniversary of this day should be commemorated with Thanksgiving and prayer exercises designed to maintain peace through good and mutual understanding between nations. In the beginning, the original concept of the celebration of November 11th was for a day observed with parades and public meetings and a brief suspension of business beginning at 11 a.m.
In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day with the following words, "To us in America, the reflections of November 11th will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice."
An act approved by May 13, 1938 made the 11th of November in each year a legal holiday, a day to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and thereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. Armistice Day was primarily a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I, but in 1954, after the World War has required the greatest mobilization of sailors, Marines, and airmen in the nation's history, the 83rd Congress amended the Act 1938 by striking World War Armistice and inserting in its place the word veterans. With the approval of this legalization on June 1st, 1954, November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars.
President Eisenhower signing H.R. 7786, changing Armistice Day to Veterans Day. At this time, we would like to acknowledge our Superintendent of Schools who served in the U.S. Army and continues to serve in the reserves. We would also like to acknowledge our Board of Ed, Trustee Mr. Ruland, who served in the Air National Guard. I would like to introduce the chorus again to perform, America. American.
The students and staff of RCK, thank you for all you have done and continue to do for our country.
Thank you for coming to our Veterans Day celebration. Let's march.
From every mountain side.
was amazing. Thank you so much. So at this time, we would like to invite all of our guests out into the hallway. The students are waiting for you for our Veterans Day Parade, and we're led by our scouts, so please join us in the hallway.